Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So this is, we're going to be doing two weeks of the EDA this week because I forgot to do last week, so we're going to do them both in a row. Might as well start with our descriptions of our teams. So, yep, so the first week we are facing off against Roaring Moon, Hawlucha, Gholdengo, Quagsire, Glimmora, Mousehold, Indeedee, I believe both male and female, or just male, I don't remember. I think it might just be male actually. Dashbun, Kricketune, and Flareon, and I believe the Terra Captain is Indeedee. So, obviously Roaring Moon is very scary. Quad weak to Fairy though, so a setup, what's it called? A setup Espathra should be able to beat it. Gholdengo is really the main thing because it's stopping us from doing a sweep with just Espathra, so we kind of want to get rid of that. Sandy Shocks is here, so yeah, we're just going to start with the team. Sandy Shocks is running Scarf with Spikes, Earth Power, Discharge, and Volt Switch. His defogging isn't great. I mean, he has Glimmora, which is quite good, but it is blocked by Dragapult, so I can stop it from spin. Actually, no, is it? Mortal Spin isn't blocked. Oh, actually, that's true. So actually, no. It is blocked by Corviknight, though, which is probably my switch in most of the time. Mousehold, of course, is very annoying, but it's quite easy to solve with a Rocky Helmet. And yeah, Quagsire is also annoying because setup is not going to be very good here if he brings it, but Espathra can kind of override that using stored power. So yeah, we'll go over the team. Sandy Shocks is Scarfed with Spikes, Earth Power, Discharge, Volt Switch, so I can force quite a few switches, I think, especially into a Glimmora where I can just click Spikes. And I think Spikes are really good here because his only non-grounded Pokemon is Hawlucha, and I think that's also his only defogger, so that's quite good. Stabs are quite strong. Discharge is nice for spreading paralysis because I really want Roaring Moon and Hawlucha to be slowed down. I'm really scared of a Hawlucha sweep, so if I can paralyze that because of Unburdened Psychic Seed, if I can paralyze that, then that's really good. Next up, we got Azumarill, Bubbles, with Trail Blaze, Aqua Jet, Liquidation, Play Rough, with a Citrus Berry. Yeah, I don't really know how to use Azumarill, I'm going to be completely honest. So this is going to be it. Trailblaze hits Quagsire and also makes us fast to a certain degree. Can outspeed certain things. And, Water and Fairy Stab is, I believe it's perfect coverage to hit everything neutrally. So at least neutrally. So that's really good. Next up we got Corviknight. Oh yes, and I forgot to say, Citrus Berry is so that we can live a Population Bomb from full, because halfway through getting hits we go back to full health again. So that's pretty good. Next up we got Corviknight, the Concierge with U-Turn, Roost Breaker, Defog with Pressure and a Rocky Helmet. Rocky Helmet is self-explanatory for the Population Bomb on Mousehold, and this is just our defogger in case hazards from Glimmora get too out of hand. Of course it does get blocked by Gholdengo, but that's why we have U-Turn to bait in Gholdengo, just U-Turn out. Next up we got Haruspex, the Dragapult with Fire Blast, Draco Meteor, U-Turn, and Shadow Ball. Our offensive pivot hopefully can just punch holes. This is our answer to Gholdengo. Yeah, the only thing is it could be Scarfed, then that's a problem for us. So we'll see how that goes. Next up we got Emperor of Malady, the Wo-Chien, with Dark Pulse, Leech Seed, Protected Giga Drain. This is kind of our switch into Gholdengo. Dark Pulses do permanent damage because Gholdengo has no recovery. Leech Seed is just there for disruption. Protect is to prolong that and heal back up with leftovers, and then Giga Drain is quite nice for Quagsire, mainly. I'm quite scared of Quagsire. I am always quite scared of Quagsire whenever I see it in battle, whenever I see it on a roster. Maybe I'm too scared of it, but yeah, physically defensive because our special defense is so good anyway. And yeah, that's Wo-Chien. And lastly we have Espathra, the standard Calm Mind set with Stored Power, Dazzling Gleam, substituting Calm Mind with Terra type Fairy. I don't hit Gholdengo, but the plan is to get rid of Gholdengo with everything else, and hopefully that works out. And then we just sweep, and that should be the game. So yeah, we'll get into the battle now. Okay guys, we got a new display. I've moved around the overlay, so that should be pretty cool. I just didn't want to set up the opponent's Pokemon every time because you can see them at the start anyway, and also they're on the side as well, and it was just too much hassle. Also, I don't have the Gen 9 Pokemon GIFs because they don't exist yet, so I've replaced Wo-Chien with a Cacturne, and Sandy Shocks with a Magneton, and also Espathra with a similar looking Ostrich. Not the best, but that's what we're gonna have to roll with for now. So yeah, we are seeing basically all the scary stuff. Nothing unexpected. Quagsire didn't come, which I guess I should have expected because Wo-Chien is a pretty good answer, and like it just doesn't do much, I think, aside from checking maybe like Belly Drum Azumarill, but I don't think he would think that I was bringing it anyway. And Espathra beats it as well, so maybe I shouldn't have prepped so hard for it. So we're gonna see how the battle goes. I leave Mechanical Rhythm to try and get some spikes up. I just get a free Volt Switch in and leave because I fear Expanding Force. He goes for Psychic instead, which is interesting. Glimmora comes out as I go for a Leech Seed, which is quite free damage on anything except Goldengo, which I don't think was a switch in. I go for Protect as he goes for Stealth Rocks. That's kind of expected, honestly. I should have expected that. Mechanical Rhythm comes back in to threaten with Earth Power as he goes for T-Spikes. Hawlucha comes in and triggers on Burden. I didn't think he would do that so early because, you know, triggering on Burden is quite a big deal, which is why I went for Earth Power, but he did. So now he's just going to try and get some damage in. Rocky Helmet, chipping Hawlucha a bit with Corviknight. I need to Roost up here as I cannot defog, and then I'm going to have to U-turn out of Goldengo. Here I make a massive mistake and I go into Dragon Pulse thinking I can just OHKO this back, and it turns out this thing is Choice Scarf, and I just die instantly to Goldengo. That was going to be my answer. I should have maybe run Scarf, honestly, but Wo-Chien was always the safer switch in here, so I should have never done that. So now I go back into Leech Seeding. We're starting back to full health. Wo-Chien's quite bulky, so that's quite good. I go back and goes into Indeedee as I switch out into Corviknight, and here I can't really defog here. He can just go straight into Corviknight. Sorry, he goes into Goldengo, but instead he just Terra Electrics and just kills me outright. So now those hazards are staying up for good. And yeah, things aren't doing very good. I set up a spike. I set up another spike. I'm just kind of trying to click spikes until I die here, basically is the plan, because switching out I feel like it's just too much. It's not going to gain me much here. He reveals Drain Punch as well. And Espathra tries to come in for a clean kill, and is almost actually able to pull it back, I believe. It's just Toxic Spikes are on the field, which is a big problem, and meaning that I just cannot recover with leftovers enough. In another world where Goldengo takes more damage, as you can see, a massive chip from the spikes, and if it just took any amount of chip, Goldengo would have gone down there, like 37%. Oh, it's quite a lot, but I mean, I have a lot of mons that can chip it for good damage. But now Make It Rain just spamming. I forget that Leech Seed blocks make good as gold, I believe. Either that or I thought he would switch. I honestly don't remember. But yeah, this is pretty much game. Azumarill doesn't get to do anything. Mousehole just comes in, I believe, and just sweeps the rest of the game. So yeah, not the best showing on my part. I think I definitely threw by switching Dragapult so early when Wo-Chien was just a much safer play. And also forgetting that Indeedee was Terra Electric, because I honestly forgot that Tower Captains were a thing in this week. So my bad. That is a clean 4-0 for my opponent for week 1. So yeah, we're going to go into week 2 now. Okay, we're into week 2, and this week we are going up against, I will name the opponents: Iron Bundle, Annihilate, Hydreigon, Tinkaton, Clodsire, Rotom-Mow, Rabska, Colossal, Spidops, and Oinkologne, where Rotom-Mow is the Terra Captain. A pretty good Terra Captain, to be honest. It's like, because Rotom-Mow is walled by very few things. It's walled by grasses and dragons, and so it's quite easy to just choose what to Terra into based on your opponent. So it's quite scary, and it's actually quite good into us because both our grass and dragon are weak to fairy here. So I didn't anticipate Terra Fairy Rotom because I didn't really think about it, but once I was in the game, spoilers, I did kind of think, okay, what will this Terra into? And it was probably going to be Fairy. So that's worth considering. Hydreigon's really scary because it's like, while it is like basically O-code by Dazzling Gleam, I can't beat everything with just a stored power set. I realized that with Espathra. Yeah, because Tinkaton takes any hit if I don't Terra into a super effective move, and Annihilate is also there, so that's quite annoying. So stored power, if I wanted to run stored power, Calm Mind, Protect, then I'd only have one other attack, and that either had to be Terra Blast or Dazzling Gleam, and either one would have either missed Tinkaton or Hydreigon. So I instead decided I was going to run a Choice Scarf set for Espathra, with Lumina Crash, Terra Blast, Dazzling Gleam, and U-Turn. But then, and I was going to run Frisk actually, because I didn't really need Speed Boost, but then I realized I could still run Speed Boost and Life Orb instead, and could run Roost as a fourth move to try and take a Gigaton Hammers better, and not just be a one-time, like, just die after like permanent damage. So I decided to run that, so that's going to explain my first set. We got Edge Runner the Espathra with Life Orb and Speed Boost, Lumina Crash, Terra Blast, Dazzling Gleam, and Roost. Lumina Crash has no switch-ins, it's Hydreigon, and I have Dazzling Gleam, so that's really good. Terra Blast is here and we're Terra Fire because I want to hit Tinkaton super effectively, and it also hits Iron Bundle pretty decently as well. Yeah, so it's a pretty good attack, and with that I can survive a Gigaton Hammer even after some Stealth Rocks chip, for example. So that's a pretty good out. I can also Roost on Gigaton Hammers because Gigaton Hammer can only be clicked once every 2 turns. So that's worth noting. Next up, so this is kind of our win condition. Next up we got Kachow. We're bringing in Karkle. Karkle is just standard hazard set, Stealth Rock Spikes with Will-O-Wisp and Rapid Spin. My removal isn't the best aside from Corviknight. While Corviknight is really good, I didn't want to ring. You're gonna see I didn't bring removal Corviknight this week, so Karkle is really good. Also, my opponent's removal is really bad. Rotom doesn't get Defog this gen, so I believe it's Colossal, maybe Hydreigon. I think that's it. So that's all his removal. So I was thinking hazard stacking probably makes sense. My opponent does get Webs and Spinoffs, but I didn't think he was going to bring it. Colossal also didn't seem like he was going to bring it because I have a Zoomerl, which is really good, into it. So yeah, that's my reasoning. But Rapid Spin is there in case Webs do go up. So yeah. Flame Body is there to chip in Annihilate, or a U-turning Hydreigon, or a Tinkaton, or anything else with contact basically. But mainly those 3. Kachow is going to hopefully do some work. Next up we got Haruspex is back with basically the same set, U-turn Shadow Ball, Draco Meteor, Flamethrower with Infiltrator and Choice Specs. Flamethrower instead of Fire Blast just because I think I forgot Fire Blast was a move this week, and also just, I mean, they're both equally valid moves, to be honest. I didn't really calc it. But yeah, good attacker overall, hits everything. Nothing much more needs to be said. Haven't really gotten to use Dragapult, especially since last week, so hopefully we can use it. Oonga Boongus. So I made some trades. I traded Wo-Chien for Brute Bonnet for equal points. I just didn't like Wo-Chien. Leech Seed is nice, but the rest of my team is so offensive that I just didn't think it was worth it, and it slowed down the momentum a lot. It kills a lot of momentum, whereas Brute Bonnet seems a lot better because of Spore mainly. It also gets Sucker Punch, which is quite nice for revenge killing, and much better coverage in Fighting and Psychic. As you can see, I'm running Fighting and Psychic, whereas Wo-Chien gets like nothing. It doesn't get knockoff, which is a small problem, but we do have Passimian still in the back in case we do want knockoff support. So yeah, that's worth noting. Overall, this is also a really bulky mon, so yeah, hopefully should be really fun to use. So we got a Chople Berry set with Spore, Crunch, Zen Headbutt, and Close Combat. Chople Berry is for Annihilate, to live a close combat. This is basically our Annihilate Panzer. hopefully, and we can just spore anything, because he has so many mons that can just snowball out of control. So if we can spore something like that coming in, then that's really good. If we can spore Rotom that's Terastalized, that's also really good. Crunch Zen Headbutt Close Combat has basically perfect coverage, except for maybe like it doesn't hit Tinkaton very well. Close Combat's the strongest move, but this isn't my Tinkaton answer anyway, so that's fine. Max attack, max HP. Next up we got the Concierge is back with Corviknight and Body Press, Bulk Up, Roost, and Brave Bird. I just really want to try this set out. It sounds really cool. But this is mainly our Iron Bundle answer, so Body Press can 2-hit KO Iron Bundle, I believe, which is pretty good, and also do really good damage to Tinkaton. It also beats Hydreigon, can take Annihilate hits quite well, especially if like Rage Fist is not boosted. And that's basically all I'm scared about, so yeah, a really strong set here. The only main threat is Rotom and Unaware Clodsire, which I don't think are concerns that are... Yeah, I'm not too concerned about them, because Clodsire gets destroyed by Lumina Crash, because Unaware doesn't ignore your own stat changes, I believe. And Rotom is... We have several checks for it. We got Dragapult, we got Ungabungus, and if he Terastalizes, well, we still have one more answer in the back with Sandy Shocks. So Mechanical Rhythm's back with Choice Scarf once again, Volt Switch, Earth Power, Power Gem, and Thunderbolt. I forget what this is for. Okay, Thunderbolt is for just general damage. It's good on Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle's special defense is quite bad, so that's good. Power Gem is for... I want to say Rotom. Yeah, Power Gem's for Rotom because my other stabs don't hit Rotom very, like, at all. Obviously it will once it Terastalizes, but yeah, that's worth noting. It's just there in case Rotom decides not to Terastalize. Yeah, max speed, max attack, because I believe there's a base 100 mon somewhere on the team, or I just forgot to speed creep. Either one. So yeah, that's the team. Let's get into the battle. And we are in for the battle. As you can see, we have Spidops and Oinkologne. So that's quite interesting. There is no Annihilate and no Hydreigon, which kind of makes sense since Annihilate and Hydreigon kind of both drop that to Dragapult. But Spidops and Oinkologne, I definitely don't expect. I guess Oinkologne is probably the Dragapult answer, and Spidops is there for webs in case... Well, I'm not sure why they want webs, to be honest, because I can just default them away, but fair enough. Yeah, so that's about what we expected, aside from, the two unexpected things. So, in other words, not very expected. We're just going to lead off here with the game. Clodsire versus Kachow. I'm kind of scared of Earthquake, and I know Earthquake doesn't kill, but I did want a little bit of health, and I thought, Clodsire's probably running physical, its special attack's quite bad, so burning it wasn't going to hurt, and also might negate leftovers, for example. So I decided to go for Will-O-Wisp. I could have gone for Rocks here, and whether that's a better play or worse play, we'll see. We go for Yawn here, so I'm just forced to switch out because I don't want to get Yawns just yet, fall asleep just yet. I go to Espathra, he Yawns again, which is actually good for me because I just want to go straight back into Carkle once more. He goes into Rotom, which is fine for me. I just want to set up hazards, so I don't care. And he actually just goes into Iron Bundle like immediately. Hydro Pump just kills me, but honestly, I don't mind Iron Bundle just using up its booster energy this early. I switch straight into Ungabungus as I go for a Spore, try to shut something down. Whatever he was going to switch into was going to be my answer, his answer to Brute Bonnet anyway, so I didn't mind sporing it. So Oinkologne being asleep probably is the worst Pokemon to fall asleep right now, because I don't see it as a big threat because of Corviknight, but it's still welcome. So yeah, Clodsire comes in, takes a lot of chip from close combat, spikes, and burn, even after leftovers, and actually he's in range of Zen Headbutt now, so I just get a kill. Ungabunga's immediately showing it's much better than Wochen, so that's really good. Very strong guy. Seems very fun. Next up, we're going into Rotom. So the way he switched into Brute Bonnet showed me he was probably hitting me for super effective, The only problem was Brubana has so many weaknesses, I couldn't really just tell just from that, so I decided to look it up and thought, okay, you know what? It's probably Terra Fairy, because it also hits Dragon Ball quite hard as well. So I decided to go into Mechanical Rhythm for Rotomo, as he goes for Substitute. Here I just Power Gem. Here's where it comes in handy. I get to hit him for quite neutral, as he goes for a sub and a nasty plot. I don't care, I just go for Scarfed Power Gems. Lucky crit there, which is kind of huge, but I'm not sure if it was huge, to be honest, because now he's just low anyway, and he's in range of everything, but he was going to be in range of everything anyway. Espathra now just comes in with a Lumina Crash, revealing Life Orb and Speed Boost. Tinkaton comes in. I'm not scared of Tinkaton, so I just Terra Fire and just Terra Blast it, doing tons of damage, which is really good for us. Knockoff removes the Life Orb, which is actually kind of good, because now I don't have to chip myself down. I see this as a free roost, because Gigaton Hammer wouldn't kill me and nothing else will. Lumina Crash now just is so easy to spam, and I just get to claim a kill. Well, it just happens to be Oink Alone, which isn't the best kill to claim, but you know, it's a kill. But now the Asleep Pokemon is dead, so I can actually Spore something else. He goes for Sucker Punch as I go for Roost. I had no reason to not click Roost. Honestly, I should have clicked Roost again, maybe like 8 times until he ran out of Sucker Punches, which technically would have been optimal, but I was in a good position here. I just Terra Blast and die, doing really good damage into Iron Bundle, and the spikes are proving to be really useful because of all the chip. So now Corviknight just comes in and threatens with Body Press and just kind of cleans up the game. I don't even need to set up anymore. Very strong, clean game. So this is going to be a 3-0 for us. We didn't even bring out Dragapult. You know, I was looking forward to using Dragapult, but I just didn't, so fair enough. I might have to run Choice Scarf more often so that I can more confidently switch into things, even though I'm the fastest thing in the game. Yeah, so that was week 2. So overall we got 1-1 with a -1 differential. So not the best, not the worst. Hopefully we come back next week. I'm telling you, there's going to be heat. Well, I don't know how heat, but I'm just going to tell you that we are going to be trying our best against the next opponent. Yep, I am not feeling great, so I'm just going to rest and upload this and get working, because I have an exam tomorrow. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay, see you guys next week.